Hey guys, it's Miss Kauchi. What we're going to do is go over the assignment that I gave you on Friday. Apparently some of you guys were just absolutely not able to do this on your own, so we figured we're going to try something new. I'm going to try recording the lessons and going over it with you guys, and you will do the exploring as if I am in class. So this is the worksheet that you're going to be having in front of you. Activity 1, learn all about spreadsheets. Okay, as I said, this was the assignment you guys did on Friday. There's also going to be one other part added on to that, which I'm going to expect that you complete today in class. So, as always, our class norms, this is whether I'm in class or not. Absolutely no backpacks in at the computer. They need to be located in the back of the room. You can put them either on the counter or on the shelf. Either way, they need to be in the back of the room, not at your computer. Absolutely no food or drinks at your computer. Okay, this also includes water. Accidents do happen, and I don't want you or your family to be personally be liable for an accident. Okay, so do not have water or any drinks at your computer, and also no Flamin' Hot Cheetos or anything like that. No music with or without headphones. No games unless your instructor gives you permission, and you need to sit in your assigned seat. You are also required to save all of your work. Okay, I also have another message that's not shown on the class norm, but it's just a little bit of information. Your progress reports will go out on Friday, so all grades do need to be in. You need to make sure you turn in all of your assignments to the sub, okay, at the end of every class period. Any assignment, for example, both of today's lessons will need to be turned into the sub. If it's not turned in, you will not be getting credit for it. Okay, so what we're going to be working on is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a pretty powerful program. It's used by many businesses, schools, it's used by personal families. I use it pretty often if I'm going through and I'm trying to figure out how much something will cost. It will actually do the calculations for me. But it is a very powerful program, and sometimes people do get overwhelmed with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking it one day at a time. Okay? Also, a bit of advice. When you're going through your worksheet that has been provided, it will show you how to do some things on a PC. We are using a Mac, so things may be just a tad bit different, but I will also point those out for you. So the very first change that's on your worksheet versus what we're going to do is they're using a PC, we're using a Mac, so naturally we're not going to have a Windows button, we're not going to use the start button. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the magnifying glass, we're going to click on it, and we're going to type in Excel. Okay? I always like to make sure I'm using the application one, but the top hit one is fine as well. Just make sure it says Microsoft Excel and it has the little X on it. Also, if you're like me, yours may show in your doc, but just in case, let's click on our application. If this is the first time you are using Excel, you will get a little prompt that's asking you to register the product. Don't worry about entering your name, don't worry about entering your phone number or your address. It's going to automatically load in your school ID number, your matrix number. Just go ahead and hit enter when you go through all of that, and it will finally bring you to the screen similar to this. These are all templates that have been designed for you. But what we're going to do is we're not using a template today. We're just going to use a blank spreadsheet. Okay, we're going to create a new workbook. Okay, a workbook usually has 3 files. It usually contains 3 files. You have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And you can scroll through those by just clicking with your mouse on them. Okay, just click with the mouse on it. Okay. You can add more sheets to them, like right here. You can click the little plus button and add a sheet. If you don't want it anymore, you can click on it and go delete. Okay. Should be fairly easy. So all of these, this whole thing is called a workbook. See, it says workbook on here up at the top. Workbook, these are called sheets. okay? And what we're going to do is make sure you're on sheet 1. This is where we're going to complete our exercise for this one. So make sure you're in sheet 1. Okay, this right here is when you look at a spreadsheet screen, you're going to see a grid. The grid is made up of columns, rows, okay, and cells. A column contains information that is arranged vertically. So these are all columns. We have column A, B, C, D, E. You're going to notice our columns are labeled with letters, and they begin with the letter A. What we're going to do for exercise A is it's asking us to hold down the right arrow key on our keyboard. Let's go ahead and locate the right arrow key on your keyboard. Hold it down, and we're going to go all the way to the end of our spreadsheet. And what it's asking us is, what letter label does that last column have? Okay, and as we're going through, you're going to notice after we passed Z, I'm going to go back real fast, it starts and it goes into AA. It starts to do double letters. Okay, AA, AB, AC, all the way through. Does the same thing with B, BB, BC, BD, BE, BF, etc., etc. Okay, we're just holding it down still, and we're going to keep going all the way to the right. Make sure you're holding down the right arrow key. And what we want to know is, what letter does that label have in the last column? What it ends up translating into is your spreadsheet should have 230 columns. Okay, still going. Still holding it down. Okay, just keep going. Might take a minute or two for it to go. And now we're still in column I, double one. Now we're in J, JJ, JK, JL, etc. And yes, I'm still here. I'm still holding down the arrow button just like you should be doing. Okay, you're going to keep on going, okay? Once you get there, go ahead and write that down. I'm going to stop holding it down. Okay, once you get there, go ahead and hold it down. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to just click on this little, the easiest thing is, rather than holding the left key back to go all the way back to my very first column, my column A, single A, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the screen. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag it all the way back over to the beginning, to where I am. Okay, and see I'm in cell A1. Okay, let's say I need to add an additional column. I can do that by going up here. Okay, I'm going to click up here. I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go down to Columns. And what it does is it will add in an additional cell. Okay, the additional cell will actually be renamed B, but it would keep adding all the way through. So what was originally B would become C. What was originally C would become D, all the way through. Okay, if I want to delete that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to Edit, and I'm going to go down to Delete. Okay, and it would delete that column that I just added. Okay, now we're going to go into a row. So we just went over columns. Columns are the letters. Okay, and now we're going to go into rows. Our rows contain information that is arranged horizontally. Our columns are arranged vertically. Our rows are arranged horizontally. Row labels are displayed across the left side of our spreadsheet, so right here. And they are labeled with numbers, and they begin with 1. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, etc., etc. And you guessed it, just as we did before, we need to hold down our arrow key, and we are going to find out exactly how many rows do we have. Go ahead and hold down that arrow key and find out how many rows we have. And I promise Excel will not be this dry. We just need to go over the basics of it. So while you're still holding down the arrow key, I'm just going to just talk to you guys a little bit about it. Excel can be a little difficult. It can be a little overwhelming, but it could also be fun. And what we're going to notice is that it can be quite interesting. It actually, you can have it create a formula, which we'll go over later, which will calculate something for you. Okay, and we'll actually go over that part tomorrow. We'll go over formulas. Okay, so you still should be holding down the arrow key. Once you get there, go ahead and type in what you have, and then go ahead and click up at the top and reset it to where you're back at the beginning. Okay, I'm just going to give you about another minute to do that. Okay, about another 15 seconds, and then we're going to continue on how to insert another row. Okay, in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Go all the way back up to the top where we were. Okay. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to go to Insert. This time I'm going to do Row, and I have inserted another row. If I want to delete it, I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to go Delete, and it deleted the row I just inserted. Okay, so now we've gone over what a grid was, what a spreadsheet was, what columns are, what rows are. Now we need to go over what a cell is. A cell is a box in which a column and row intersects. So right here we have A1. The cell for that is cell A1. Each cell is in a spreadsheet grid, has a name or an address based on its location. So as I said, cell A1 has an address. The first cell in the spreadsheet grid is called A1. Note that the column letter is the first letter, so we always say A because that's the column, and the row number is second, so A1. The cell labels are not case sensitive, okay? So I'm just going to show you right here. I'm just going to type in A1, A2, and this is also on your spreadsheet, A3, etc. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go B1, B2, B3, okay? Just so you can see. Cell A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, etc. Okay? That was just to let you know how to read those. Okay, I'm going to show you an easier way rather than having to go through. If I tell you to find cell A1, what I'm going to do is I see that this is an active cell. My active cell is the one that has the darker color around it. Okay, every spreadsheet has an active cell. And what I know is if I come up here, I'm going to notice that my active cell, the one that I'm in, shows up here. This is called my active cell address. This is like a home address where you live. Okay, and let's say that I want to go to cell E5. I could either scroll all the way over and go to cell E5, or I can come up here to where my address is and I can type in E5 and it'll take me over to that. Let's say I want to go to ZZ70. I type in cell ZZ70, and as always, it's not case sensitive. I press enter and it's going to take me all the way over to cell ZZ70. Okay? And the next part it's telling you to do is to click the last cell of the spreadsheet, and to get there it wants you to hold the arrow key all the way over. I'm not going to make you have to scroll all the way over to the right and all the way down again. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and go on to the next part of our spreadsheet. Okay, so we've just gone over what an active cell and an active cell address is. Okay. We have our active cell address is right here, and our active cell is right here. We know our active cell, once again, by it being how? It being colored with an outline around it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way back over. You know what I'm going to do up here? I'm going to use this again. I'm going to go A1. So I'm clicking A1 there and press enter. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is our entry bar. You can get there by pressing just go ahead and click up here and type in A1. Don't worry about what it's telling you to do on the sheet. Okay, once we're there, we're going to type in, right here is our entry bar. We're going to type in 150. We're going to hit enter. We're going to hit cell A1 again and look above the B in the B column above the cell labels right here. And what we're going to see is this is our active cell address box to the right of it. And this is our address bar. Okay, this is our address bar. This is our entry bar. Okay. Now we're going to go down to activity 1A. And it says click the entry bar. Okay. This is our bar. We're going to go ahead and hit delete, and we're going to delete what we were in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hit tab. And what number is in the cell A1? Go ahead and write that down in B. What is in cell A1? Okay. In our entry bar, when we click back on cell A1, what is showing in our entry bar? Go ahead and write that down on your paper. That's under 1C on page 8. What is showing in our entry bar? Okay, we're going to click back on cell A1. We're going to hit the entry bar again. We're going to hit delete. We're going to erase the 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to type in hi. HI. We're going to press enter, go back up here, and now what do we see in cell A1? What's there? What do we see in the entry bar? Okay, go ahead and type that down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're done with this part of our activity. We're going to hit File, Save As. We're going to put the location. We're going to save it to your documents. Remember, I'm on my personal computer at home, so it doesn't show it, but you would click on your documents. The Save As part, you're going to type in Excel Act 1. So it's Excel Activity 1, Excel Act 1. You're going to hit Save, okay? And then you're free to go ahead and close your document. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the final activity for our assignment for today is to go to the last page on it. It's going to be activity 1, and it's entitled, let me go ahead and enlarge it for you. Activity A is to write a letter to a person who is unfamiliar with the spreadsheet. You're going to use all of the words from the list below. You're going to explain to this person what a spreadsheet is, and make sure you use each word correctly. Please underline each word as you use it. See if you can complete this activity without copying any phrases and sentences from the book, from what I just went over with you. And the words that you're going to use is right here. It's Excel, workbook, column, cell, active cell, cell address, number, label, spreadsheet program, worksheet, row, grid, entry bar, formula, and save. Okay, using all of these words, you're going to write a letter to someone who is unfamiliar with the spreadsheet, and you're going to explain to them what that is. You're going to have approximately 25 minutes to complete this activity. Please make sure you print off your assignment, so you go Apple P, print it off in the class, and turn it into the sub. Please make sure your name and period number is on the top of that document. If you are unable to print it, please raise your hand and show your assignment to the sub, and I will give him instructions on what to do as far as that. But you are responsible for saving it. If you cannot print it out, you are going to be required to save it. Okay? If you have any questions at any point, please raise your hand and talk to the sub. You may ask your neighbor, but do not get out of your seat. Okay? Talk to you guys all later and see you soon.